everyone, and thank you for joining and having me for this sharing section. And I'm very happy and very grateful for this opportunity. Before introduce myself, I would like to know if there anybody here like students from the faculties or mostly like they are from the organizing team or yeah. So maybe like I want to have some warm up questions like where are you from or most of you from India or any people from other place. Like you can tie on the chat spot like maybe in 1 minute.
And before you begin, we would formally welcome you too. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll read out your bio as well.
Okay. So it's the floor is yours now.
I welcome everyone to this month's session. And for today's session, we have Hoai Le from Vietnam. She's a graduate student currently pursuing a fully funded master's degree in political science at the University of Padua, Italy. She holds a bachelor's degree in international law from the Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam. Her research interests include sustainable development, digital governance, educational mobility, and public policy in Southeast Asia. Her talk for today is titled First Passport Education as Migration. And you can take over now.
Yeah, thank you for having me today, and thank you Apul Nama for the invitation. So yeah, I have just read like someone say like they are he or she a student from India and doing his or her master a PhD doing his or her PhD in the USA. And yeah, welcome, and we can see that it's very diverse community and very diverse people from here. And also I would like to say like I think today it's just like a very casual and very informal sharing section, and I think it's gonna last around 1 hours. More and less. So let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is Anh and I'm from Vietnam, and currently I am pursuing my master degree in University of Padua and about political science. And about more fact about me, I can say I have traveled more than 20 countries. So I'm 25 years old now, and I am very delighted and very happy to be here to share with you. So mostly I before the when my friend asked me about this sharing session, I thought a lot about what could I share with you like with very like more interesting instead of very something very academic and very boring. What can I share? Like I try my best to figure it out something similarities between India and Vietnam, and I can feel like wow, Vietnam and India have the same situation, like we have very young and dynamic generations and people, but I can feel like the opportunities for it when we want to travel, when we want to study abroad or something in regard to our passport or something like our documents, it is still very limited comparing to another countries or citizens from Europe, the USA, the UK, or the Korea, or something like that. So that's why I think so I can say like I can start sharing or talking about something familiarly and something like really interesting and a little bit like casual to share with people about my journey, my education, and how I can have traveled a lot and study abroad with my background. What did I prepare and what is my mindset and what did I think to achieve all the thing I have right now. So I think here everyone here mostly come from India, right? Anybody, either anybody from different countries or different city, you can write down your answer on the chatbot.
No, I think we're all from India at the
Yes.
moment, at least.
So
But in
thank
possibly from different parts of India. Again,
yeah,
at
yeah.
the
So today, yeah. So thank you, Professor E, for the. And anyways, today is very casual and very like friendly sharing section. So yeah, don't hesitate to turn on the like unmute yourself to speak and raise your questions or raise any concern you want to ask and want to share or want to talk. So yeah, so more about myself. In when I was in Vietnam, I studied international law, and it was my bachelor degree. And when during my days in a bachelor degree and during my days as an undergraduate student, I have a chance to get familiar with something like international affairs, international law, like humanitarian work and human rights. So, but at the time, I everything around me is very narrow. Like I came from a very small place and small village in the middle part of Vietnam. I don't come from the big city, or I don't come from the very wealthy families or very supportive family or something like that. And I am the first person in my family to go to the university and at least get and obtain a bachelor degree. So during my days in my bachelor degree, that was my very first time I came to a big city and I started living independently, alone, and like to feed myself for everything and take care of myself alone. So everything everything at the time for me is like the world around me just like shaped by the books, what I have listened to people around me, what they talk to me about this. And I can say in Vietnam we have an idiom we call like a frog sitting in the well. It's mean like people keep staying in a place repeatedly every day. Like it's mean like you just stay one place and then you never like go abroad, go something further to explore like what is happening around you or what is happening in your country or what. Yeah. So at the time for me, Europe in general and study abroad feel very far away from me. I mean, it's I just haven't heard about Europe, about some like another countries through on their pictures, on their stories, on the new place. But I've read and I saw from the internet and everything I just have heard about. Everything is just like from internet, and another something bigger limitation, something like really bigger limitation for me at the time it's like somebody tells me like you cannot do it because you come from this place because you are just a student here or something like you are just a normal person. And um, at least like I can feel like at the time nobody really encouraged me like I can do something or at least nobody encouraged me like I can give me a hope or some motivation to do anything like at least like encourage me to think out of the box. So you can see here's my picture I took 3 years ago. I took it when I was in Bangkok for an exchange program at the university of a very famous university in Bangkok. It was so called Chulalongkorn University. It is one of the top ranking university in Bangkok. And when I came to Bangkok for the first time and I joined this program, I can feel like the differences between the students. I mean, at least my peers and the students around me and the student in Bangkok, how different we are. At least the university when I came here, Chulalongkorn is a very top ranking and very it is public university, but it is the top ranking university in Thailand. That's why they have a lot of, I mean, a lot of support, a lot of fundings from the faculty, a lot of reputation from their alumni, and I can say they have a lot of support. But when I look back at myself, I didn't figure it out any support I got from my university. At least, simply maybe at this time I have a good grade, I have ambitious, and I have dream to do something like maybe for international organizations or international affair, but I didn't know how and what like how how I can achieve it, and that's and what I can where should I start. So I know like yeah, I can go abroad, I can find opportunities, but how and where and how I can find the opportunities and how I could know this opportunity exists, at least like how I can know I access to the opportunity. So in the end, I figured it out the most biggest limitation and the biggest like the biggest like problem here is come from like the lack of the of accessing opportunities. So also I do believe like it also happened to Indian students. Like we know a lot of case study and a lot of information about the people who are really successful. They are come to abroad, they come to the US, the UK for after they got their fully funded scholarship, but we never know how they can achieve it and how they can like get and attain on these things and achievements. So in the end, I figured it out. Maybe here, information itself, it actually an asset and it a form of capital. So for me, I come from a village in Vietnam. I don't come from I don't come from a big city or the capital. So for me, the lack of opportunities and information is the biggest thing. I didn't figure it out. I didn't recognize it until I came to the capital and I had some opportunities to go abroad like exchange program, and I observe the difference and the limitation between earth, like the those who are from the big city and me from the small village and go to the capital for studying and for work. So we really don't know how to access the information, and even most most like the second thing is we really don't know how early we should start, and when we know we can start, so we how we can when we know we can we should start, so we can start from where and when. So I think yeah, I think we can feel like the similarity here between Vietnamese students and Indian students. I'm sure because we have very young and dynamics populations, and I can feel like the youth both in Vietnam and India, they are very talented, and of course a lot we have a lot of youth. So I think a lot of people here, I guess you guys are kind of similar, like my at my age. So do you want to share anything else about this experience or something about what I have said? Because today it's very casual and very like share like just like sharing, informal sharing. So don't hesitate to raise your voice or unmute yourself if you want to say something or sharing I'll share something like you feel like very like you can feel like is the trigger yourself or you can see yourself when talk and I share about my story and my situation. But if not, I will keep going with my slides and my sharing. Yeah, so for my situation, like what I have said, like after everything, I start become my own counselor. Like because at the time I didn't have money and I mean I have some part-time jobs, but it's still not a lot for me to come to a like advisory study abroad or advisory firm to ask for their help or come to some place like they can help me to support or something like that, because actually at the time I didn't have enough saving to do it, to pay for this service. So I decided myself to become my own counselor. So I start I started doing everything by myself. So for me, the problem I feel like at the time like I lack of opportunity. So I started searching. Actually, I don't think here's scholarship is something like gonna like define who you are, but at least for me, and at least for some peoples, and I do believe like for many peoples, sometimes finding opportunities and know how to seek the opportunities, and even like scholarship, it could be it could change your futures and also like your life, your fate, 100% and totally for sure. So at the time I started searching everything by myself. I spent hours on social media to share to uh, find like alumni of the like alumni like some people like KOL we call in Vietnam, like and on the sharing of the people who used to got these opportunities or these scholarships or some kind of like that. And also after I did research and I have enough knowledge about specific topics and specific programs and scholarship I would like to apply for or I would like to join or I would like to become a part of the programs, I started like frame my story, uh, frame my what I want to bring, what I want to talk and what I want to persuade the international community, like why I am deserved and why I really need your help, your support, your funding and the scholarship from your program. Why I really want to go abroad. Why really I want to come out of my comfort zone to try to learn and also to do something for my community at least. So for me, because I come from a very humble family, so at the time for me, for those kids like me in Vietnam, I think it also happens in India, but I just my assumption. Like for those kids who come from a humble family like me, it will be very a big problem if we try something and then we fail, because comparing to those who come from a very good backgrounds and very good support, they have very good support from their family, they have more time than us, I mean than me. So at the time I was very scared and I feel hesitate because I question myself a lot. Like when I started framing my story and I started like questioning myself and wondering myself who I am and what I really want to do in the future and what I can exactly contribute to my community. But there is a question just keep hesitates me hesitates myself to do and to keep going because I afraid like what happens if I got the failures. I mean because I didn't have so much time because I don't know why, but at the time I always feel like I always felt like I didn't have enough time if I fail. I mean, at least for Joe who has very good background, they at least still have support. But for me, if I failed, I will that will be a big problem for me because my time is limited. But anyway, I still give myself a try and I keep trying and keep applying and keep giving myself a try and also of course I start understand myself more because for me when I start writing and I start like writing something like motivation letters or SOP or like some documents like that, I understood myself more and I also recognize like that is maybe my like weakness, that would be my strength, but I didn't recognize it before. And for me here, didn't didn't want to highlight like maybe everyone have to um, like study abroad or something like that. But anyway, I always encourage people to if you have a chance to try, so why not? Because when you start applying or start finding the opportunities or seeking for the opportunity to study abroad and you have a chance to write their motivation letters or some write your story by writing, you can have a very valuable and very golden time for yourself to really understand like what you want and maybe even your real potentials. And so become like proceed to stay proceed during this period is very important because for me I think I everyone always face rejection. I got the rejection a lot rather than like the congratulation email. But anyway, I know like it was a very hardship time for everyone. But from my side, I always think like maybe it happens for a reason. So if something like rejection come, just keep moving on and go like moving forward for it. And that is also a lesson learned for me during my days like to find a scholarship or opportunities to study abroad because I faced a lot of rejection and then it trained me a lot to become very like stay strong after all the bad thing that happens in your life and also like include like the rejections or something like you are really unwillingness to receive or to hear about it. But anyway, in the end it's a very like a long stories for me and I haven't learned and two keywords here I can say like always some big and two keywords I and two like personalities I got from this journey is first it become um first is become like like keep yourself like proceed perseverant, like stay perseverant, like because something it could be happens to our like with something like you don't want it happens but anyway it still happens. So for me I know how to become perseverant in regardless of what happens in my life because I have a motors in myself like it happens for a reason, so don't worry, so just become perseverance. And the second one I got from my journey is stay positive, like always stay positive for anything happens in my life, even it's bad or good thing. If it's good thing, yeah, I say it's okay, but if it is bad thing, I'm fine. I will try my best for the next time. So that's my journey when I decided to become my own counselor. I learned everything from like the sharing, researching by myself, and that is what I did to during my journey. I don't have my own mentors or counselor or something like that, because I could not pay for it. But I know like a lot of people have this, there is this privilege to have their own mentors or counselors. But anyway, yeah, if someone have, it doesn't mean like everyone need their own mentors or counselor. So yeah, that's about myself, my journey. And boom, in last years I got my scholarship, and that was a fully funded scholarship at University of Padua, like you have heard before, like what Anupama you have said, like it was a fully funded student, fully funded scholarship from my university, and for the master degree in political science, and I will have 2 years spending in Padua to complete and finish this master's degree. So yeah, but you can say like it was a, you can feel like it was a fully funded scholarship, and yeah, maybe a lot of people gonna see like think like, yeah, maybe her story is over, she got her scholarship, she got everything she want, like she should seek the opportunity and then she figured it out and then she tried and applied for it and now she got it. Yeah, she have a beautiful story now, her story is over, her dream is over. But no, the problem is just it was just like a start of everything, a new journey, of a new challenge, a new, everything will become very different. Like yeah, the story it just begins. You get the email and yeah, we celebrate for it. But what is next? A lot of stuff we need to do, a lot of stuff we need to prepare, and a lot of stuff we need to care for it. We have to buy the flight tickets, of course. We, and anything else, yeah, visa, accommodations, the documents for the book bureaucracy ahead. You're gonna face encounter with it when you come to a new countries. So also like the healthcare service, also a lot like, and last but not least, but not a lot of people will talk with you and speak friendly with you. It's about money. So nobody say with you about it. Like um, yeah. So in the end, I in the end I can say like yeah, if we get the opportunities, so if we get a meet for something like some like scholarship, yeah, it's just like a start. But to become and to adapt yourself with this journey is another thing. So I also want to share with you about my journey as to become a non-EU student. So a lot of my classmates are Indian, and I can feel we share the same thing, the same concerns, and the same worries when we came to we came to Italy and in the Europe in general. So we have to think about immigration. We need to understand our visa, how strong it is or how weak it is. And last but not least, we have to deal with resident permits, the accommodation, insurance, yeah, even like academic documents. I come to Italy and I I study a lot about human rights because my master degree have a lot of modules about human rights. But quickly we recognize something else. It was about bureaucracy. So in Italy, it is so-called one of the worst bureaucracy in the world, and it also become part of my education too. I start learning about how European administrative system worked, and also I had to start communicating with them, with the institutions, and really learn which document gonna master for me, which document gonna like affect myself the most if I lose them or I forgot them somewhere, and also I have to, of course, have to do everything alone and learn how to solve problems without having my family around me or help me physically. And it could be say like study abroad. It means like you have to become stay independent, not only about academically, but also like about financially or something like physically, everything like alone. And yeah, you will be the only person who can save yourself or who can like help yourself and save yourself in everything problems and everything like situation could happen during your stay abroad. So I can say that is one of the another highlight and another lesson learned I got during my stay here. That is stay independent, like for everything. Like I think that would be a very good lesson learned and very good practice for me if I in the future I leave Italy and I go to somewhere and even like I return back to Vietnam. So I even though I feel like it is a very hard time for me. I admit that, but at least it trained me a lot for these personalities and this habit. So I feel grateful for this. So study abroad and go abroad is a really trained me a lot, and it really helped me to become like independent for everything. So now if I come back to Vietnam, I'm sure like I'm happy to fix all the stuff in the house like like without any support or help from my dad or something like that. But anyway, I can say like I can say like before you decide to go somewhere alone or go somewhere like by yourself, first and foremost like try your best to become the most independent versions of yourself, and it could be very beneficial for you in the future. So also here during my journey, I also would like to share with you. I think like maybe some lesson learned and some like very personal sharing of myself to everyone like who are still on your journeys and still on your on your journey like to figure it out like who you are, what you want to do, or how you are like how you want to overcome these situations or something like that. So I can say like I really feel grateful for education because it is my biggest passport right now to help me travel a lot and help me to become who I am today, and like to bring me to all the opportunities, um, all the opportunities and everything I always dream of when I was young. So I really have three key points for my journeys, and I really wish I haven't known it earlier, or at least someone will told me when I was younger. So my first lesson learned is never wait until you feel ready, because we all waiting like, yeah, I will try, but I will wait until I feel that I become good enough. I mean, here it's just not simply about you want to apply for scholarship or you want to find a job or something like that. I just want to say here like it apply for everything, all the master you want, like about like you like find jobs or opportunities, or you want to try a new challenge or something like that. So don't wait like until you feel you are ready, or you feel like you become a good enough version of yourself. Because like I have a motto in myself, like if I don't try, I lose the opportunity 100%. But if I try, at least I have 50% of become a selection. I mean, at least I have 50% of being select in the future. So I mean, here is actually there's no magical moment when you are suddenly feel like you are completely qualified, or something. Sometimes like you become qualified by trying or failing or learning or applying again. So I can say here, if you wait until you feel 100% ready, I I can say very sadly, like you may wait it forever. So yeah, I can say in the past I lost a lot of opportunities and a lot of time to figure it out this. So I lose also a lot of like opportunities. I can say it's never come back anymore. So sometimes I feel very regretful for it, but now, yeah, from the lesson learned, like stay positive. So I think like, okay, it's fine, because maybe it need time for me to become suitable or become like adaptable for this in the future, or this opportunity. And maybe my version of myself in the future could be become like more qualified and more ready for it. So sometimes I speak to myself like that, but at least I know if I don't try, it will never happen, and we're gonna wait the opportunity forever. So my second thing, I wish I had known it earlier. It was start researching and doing everything earlier than you think. So for me, because I didn't come a very advantage like environment or opportunity, so I can say I was not advised, or I was not guided or oriented early by my family. So yeah, it was a pity a little bit, but anyway, I think it's fine. So but anyway, I that's why when I figured it out this lesson learned, I start sharing with people and start like telling with people like doing everything early, like because actually opportunities have deadlines, their own deadline. And don't you like everything you want to prepare, like for example, like if you want to study for PhD or something like that, or further into future, we can see like all the way like recommendation all the way take time for the professor to approve it. Visa process take time, or something like document take time, and also um like the papers, your papers on way also take time to read, to write, and to be approved by the selection committee. So we can see like everything really take their own time. So that's why if we don't want to become stressful when we finish and start doing something in the last minute. So please prepare everything like at least like from small steps as soon as possible. So yeah, maybe like now I am here in Italy and I have 1 more year to finish my master degree, but I start thinking about yeah maybe my future, what I want to do or something like that. But unless I know maybe it cannot happen 100% like as what I prepare and what I plan right now, but at least I have a something like preparation. So at least I will feel no more hesitates or stressful when something unexpectedly happens to me, and at least I still have a research and very basic research and foundation about what I want to do and what I want to finish in the future. And last but not least, last but not least, I think the biggest lesson learned I can say is like learn from the boring things. Maybe like people gonna like feel like a lot of stories around me, what I have said and what I have shared. I know like maybe my story or what I have shared is kind of similar or kind of boring. Like maybe you have heard a lot about it from someone many times or something like that. But anyway, for me, um, I during my time I started writing and thinking of my recommendation letters or something like motivation letter. I start reflect myself a lot, like my journey, what I study in the past. So keep reading and researching about my subjects during my uh, undergraduate programs or something like that. So I figured out maybe yeah, it was a boring things and boring stuff. I consider them like something very obviously, but everything had their its own beautiful meanings and beautiful journey. For example, like about I start like research or um, like spend more time to for something like about very basic information about resident papers or something like about my journey, what I did in the past, what I did now, and what I did in the future. So I start like connect the dots to them, and even something very obvious like my what I study during my bachelor degree. So I start connecting the dots, and in the end I feel like nothing is boring. Actually maybe it's boring, but nothing is come to us like without any meaning. So for me, I at the time I started like learn from the boring things, like start like reflect things from the boring things, or and then try my best to figure it out, it the beautiful meaning and the beautiful reason behind it. So that's one of the key points. I mean, on the lesson learned, I really wish like someone really told me before or really share it with me when I was younger. So I think for students from India, maybe your story maybe a little bit different about with me. Like, but anyway, I can feel like here there maybe some background could be similar or something like yeah some like some features could be similar with I have a experience with that. And anyway for me because I didn't come from a very like affordable family. So it's mean like my family could not send me to the like some another countries like the US, the UK, or some country like that without the sponsorship or the funding or scholarship from the university or the government or the um, or something like support from like scholarship funding. So anyway, for me, education really the migration passport for me to travel and to become the version of myself now and to become her like to seek the opportunities abroad and like staying here now in Italy. Another thing I really want to share with you is would be a fun fact. Like in Vietnam, if I am not sure about India, how people react with that. But anyway, in Vietnam, if people, I mean like Western or European people come to Vietnam and they work, I mean whatever they do, not limited like they work for the big company or not. If they come to Vietnam, people call them expats, very fancy and very beautiful name for them. But when I come to Vietnam, when I come to Europe and I come abroad, people call me people gonna call me migrants, immigrant. So I can feel the difference reaction between people like who come from the countries with the very high ranking and strong passports and who really come from very weak passport ranking. So I can just so that's why my journey like here in Italy, even I come here like with a fully funded scholarship, but anyway my journey is still like education as a migration. So yeah, so that is a fact in Vietnam right now. But I think it could be similar with like happening now in India. But actually, I'm not sure. So in the end, about what my sharing session today, I think I want to finish in 10 more minutes. So I can say the everything happens in my journey, my education journey here is honestly it's like I can say like it's mostly it comes from towards like magical opportunities. In the end, I can say if like opportunities I don't get and I don't seek and figure it out those opportunities by myself, it will never happen to me, to be honest. So I mean, now I really feel like grateful for myself. Like 2 years ago, I start like seeking the opportunities or doing everything by myself. Like, of course, research everything and start seeking for opportunities. So yeah, I can say maybe yeah, we come from some areas in India or Vietnam with very limitation to access the opportunities. But anyway, for me, opportunities is always exist. So that's why sometimes I do believe and I do agree like maybe where you was born really shape of what opportunity you gonna see. But anyway, if it happens, it doesn't mean like opportunities never happens in your life, especially for something very important like education. So here I really say just want to say yeah, maybe it true, but just don't worry. It's like just keep going on and try and give it a try. Maybe rejection gonna come, but at least we can see like before all the bad days, the good days gonna come. So just give yourself a chance, give yourself an opportunity to try it and like do everything like you feel like um, is it suitable for you, but at least just give yourself a chance to try it. So never limit yourself with opportunities. So now I think I'm gonna conclude my presentation and my sharing today. And to conclude it, I would love to ask you a question. I think very interesting question. Like for me, my first passport, it was about education. So I would love to listen and to hear about you guys. Like, what is your first passport about? So let me share with you more detail. I started going abroad when it was like in 2023, and I still remember vividly like it was exchange program in Thailand. So yeah, and I was support and funded by the University of Chulalongkorn in Thailand. So that's why I can say my first passport it was about education. So can I hear about your answer? Like, yeah, what is your passport about? To conclude our section and our I mean our sharing section today. Can I hear some voice from you, or do you need me to repeat the questions? Okay, I will give you maybe one more minute, and then if nobody gonna would like to say something, we can finish and conclude the section today.
Yes, we can also take questions. You can type in the chat box or
Yeah. Don't worry. It's very informal session sharing. So yeah, don't be hesitant.
I think what you said or made the comparison between how students migrate to, say, Europe or America from India. I mean, I think you were very right in your comparison. But I was also thinking about something that you said when we had met about how education becomes um, a way in which a lot of people from Vietnam can migrate to the Europe to Europe. But you also said how people come there and they have to ultimately not depend on their degrees itself, but look at other forms of employment.
Yeah. So Professor asked us a
Yeah.
passport of attend the conference. That's so interesting. Yes. Is there any reason to for your passport? Like, Yeah. So thank you, Apu Nama. So can you repeat your questions one more time?
I was also, I mean, you said how education becomes a way or a tool in which you can
Mm-hmm.
migrate to Europe or US, but you were also, I mean, this was in person. You had mentioned about how a lot of people also migrate with education being um, the reason for migration. But once they reach um, Europe, especially you said in the context of Vietnam, many of them don't necessarily stick to their degrees or education because it's not something that would necessarily lead to jobs. So you were telling me so many examples of other forms of livelihood that people try to find, but at the same time they're only able to reach through these student visas, right?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty, yes.
So maybe if you could elaborate or
So you mean like can I like
yeah, examples or whatever.
yeah. Can I like how to say um like reframe your questions one more time, right? Because from what I understood from your questions, you asked like you want me to give some example like in Vietnam a lot of people don't need to get your bachelor degree to find a job or seek a job, right? That's your
No,
question.
no, I was asking how you were telling about a lot of people who move to, say, Italy or Europe. They come with student visas because that's the
Mm-hmm,
only way in which they can come, but
mm-hmm.
they don't necessarily end up doing these courses, or the job prospect is not the same as getting student visa, right? So that is something that you were saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So I think like maybe it's a little bit like misunderstanding here because actually, yeah, what you said is actually true, but in any way, like it doesn't apply for everyone. To be honest, like that is a very nice facts about Italy. So I think like that's why people can start consider Italy like a education hub for study because in Italy, I think only Italy in the world have a very generous funding and very generous support and very generous policy for students. They want everyone can study, like I mean, study, go to school, go to university. I mean, in Italy, not abroad. So they have a funding and policy. It is so-called regional scholarship. Technically it can be say like this scholarship. It not actually scholarship. It is like subsidiary for the poor family with a very poor family. So because Vietnam, I mean, the differences between Vietnam, our currency, like Vietnam đồng, and European currency, it is a lot. So that's why when people from Vietnam come here and apply for the subsidiaries from the government, I mean the funding for like study, it is always 100% they are qualified because the difference between the currency between Vietnam and the Italian, and that is so true. Like a lot of people, I think, also include Indian here. They come here to apply for these benefits, and then in the end, they quit their studies. To be honest, from what I research and what I know, like they always have the minimum requirement for to renew their fund, I mean the benefits and their funding. But anyway, a lot of people come here and they figure out, oh my gosh, if I come here and then I work and um I become a workers, like of course just manual workers, uh, we are paid more than stay at home, study, and then got the funding and subsidiary salary benefits from the government. Maybe for the what I heard, like their funding is just around 400 4,000 euro per 6 months. But if you work, you are paid like 2,000 euro per month. So it is a lot. I mean, more than the subsidiary from the government. So a lot of people, from what I understood, like they came here, like for of course for visa purpose, and then they figured out, okay, yes, we can gain more money, so they quit their study. Nobody can force them to study, I mean keep studying. They can quit, so nobody can control them, and then they work, and luckily they have their I mean the working permissions, I mean the working permit, and to keep like renew their visa to and renew their documents. But anyway, I mean here it only happens for someone who are really lucky, who really lucky. I mean they they meet their good, I mean boss, the good managers, and then they support them for the documents and contracts. But anyway, if the boss doesn't support them, they will work as a illegal workers. So I can say like the how to say the connection between education and migration is very lean and very close. Now we are student with valid visa purpose, and then we become a workers with illegal purpose, like illegal staying purpose. So it's very close, and I think it's a very interesting topic. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions?
You guys want to have something to share?
I think there's someone who's asking. Princey is asking, were you looking for belongingness during the entire process? Is the concept of home a part of belonging for you?
Okay, thank you for your questions. So I am starting thinking a little bit. Actually, honestly, I didn't understand very exactly what you are asking for, but I will answer from what I feel and what I understood. For me, yes, I really looking for belongingness. To be honest, when I came here, I feel sometimes, and I share with you about the independence. Sometimes I question myself, like, okay, why I have to do everything alone, independently, and yeah, of course, why? Because actually, I come from Vietnam, and we are influenced a lot by the Confucians, like some theories from China. Like, yeah, maybe if we are a girl or a woman, we deserve to get support and help from people around, and we don't need to work too much alone and independently. So sometimes this mindset influence me sometimes. So when I come here, I have to do everything alone, independently, and I just question myself why I have to do it. Like even here, it's not my hometown. Italy is not my hometown. In some way, I really have the sense of belonging. So for me, of course, my home is always Vietnam, always. So that's why when I come here, I still keep and like preserve my personalities, my cultures, my I mean like it doesn't mean like I come here with and I come here, but I mean I didn't learn or research about Italian cultures. I just want to say like I still keep my like personalities, like at least Vietnamese personality. I still integrate with people here, but I don't disassimilate with their Italian culture or European cultures or Western culture in the end. But anyway, yeah, for me, the concept of home for the part of my belongings, I can say I always looking for it. But anyway, I mean, I just looking for it's like just like how to say like reference. I never like set it like 100% what I have need to do. 100% I have to like follow everything like step by step, like something like stereotype. But anyway, for me, I think in the end I can say, just be keep your personal identity and stay and like willing to integrate with new environments and new countries and cultures, and in the end stays flexible anyway. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? Or I think that's it then.
I think so.
Thank you so much, Ayn, for agreeing to speak at our forum. It was lovely to have you.
Yeah, so thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for staying with me and listening to me. Thank you.